Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to have you here. If you're new here, my name is Rachel and I do all things cricut crafting, some fake bake, and some inspiration. So in this video, it's kind of a Christmas kitchen edition. We're doing a lot for the kitchen in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I had purchased this blank from Hobby Lobby. And I'm actually, you guys probably have seen this before in my channel. I've painted the back, or I guess in this case the front, and then I added some decor. But this time I am going to work with the inside of this box. Now it did come with a hanger that I had to take out, and I have a couple options. I'm not sure which one I want to do. I do have this cute bow that I got from Hobby Lobby that I might hang, or I might have might use this wreath here. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use until we get everything applied down. So let's go ahead and weed out my design. I'm going to push this to the side. So I found this cute little font. Actually, I've had this font for a while, but I thought this seems really fitting for this particular project. So I'm excited to use it. And this is I have so many Christmas videos coming to my channel, and I'm excited to bring them to you guys and hopefully inspire. Sorry, I'm actually having a little issue with this vinyl. So I don't want to stay focused. I'm going to approach it a different way. And you know what? I think what I meant to do is I meant to cut this so I didn't waste this vinyl here, and I forgot to do that. So what I'll do is I'll trim this off. Okay, and then I'm going to trim off some of this because obviously we don't want to waste the vinyl here. So when it comes to Christmas crafting, what area of the house do you like to craft for the most? And I apologize, I have some paint on my fingers. I was just painting right before I started this video and I just was in a hurry to get going. But anyways, what is your favorite area of the house or just your favorite Christmas crafting? Do you like to do more gifts than make stuff for yourself, for your home, or what? This is the first time I really am decorating for the kitchen. Mainly because I just installed these floating shelves that I talked about before, and I'm going to make that my faux foods area, and I thought it'd be kind of cute to add some decorations for. So this is my first time doing Christmas decoration for my kitchen. And I think I have a lot of Christmas decor, but honestly, with all the Christmas stuff that I'm making, I probably won't use any of it and just stick with my decor that I'm making for this year, and then donate some old decor or maybe repurpose it. I do a lot of that in my crafting. I repurpose my stuff, and I think that's why I have such a stockpile, because I don't get rid of things. But I think this year I am going to go ahead and donate a lot just to kind of declutter. Okay, so now that we got that weeded out, so it just says Gingerbread Bake Shop. And we're going to apply that in here like so. And then I have this cute gingerbread that I got off of Amazon. They come in this dark brown and a lighter brown. And I also have this spoon, although I'm not sure how I'm going to position it. I might do something like this. And the idea of this is actually not going to be completely finished in this video, because in my faux foods video you will see what I'm going to add to the spoon. So I'll glue everything down as far as this, and then of course put that down, and then whatever one that I end up choosing, and then this won't be glued down, but you'll get an idea. So you'll have to stay tuned to the next video, or I'm not sure when that video is going to get released, to be honest, but it will be coming out here soon, so make sure that you stay tuned to that. And I was hoping I had a different scrap than I do here, but let's go ahead and get this vinyl on our vinyl here, transfer tape on this vinyl. So let's see here. Sometimes for me it's just easier to work upside down. I think I have it on the wrong way, but that's all right. All right. Okay. So I do realize I have this. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was thinking that I don't want to cut out this transfer tape if I have... I do have one big project I probably should have started with first. That way I can just cut it down from there, but I guess I forgot. But I'm going to see if I can piece all this together. I got a lot of small projects in this video, so a lot of this will be useful for that. Let me see if I can apply this. Okay, let's just move that away. Get out my scraper tool, and we want to scrape the front and back. Now you'll see this color of vinyl quite a bit in this Christmas season. I kind of try to stick with a certain theme, and in fact I'll bring it here. I bought this at Michael's, Orcal 651, and it's just the burgundy color. So that is, you'll see that one, and then you'll also see this one, although I don't, yeah, we'll have this in this video, and it's the dark green. And I also am using the forest green as well, because they did not have the forest or the dark green, and the forest green is pretty similar to that green. So in fact, I looked at 3 different Michaels that are near where I live, and go ahead and move that before I make a mess here. No one had the dark green, so I don't know if they're discontinuing it or people are just using that for their Christmas crafts, but it will be all right. I won't stress over it. It's pretty similar. So I want to make sure that this is at the top here, because obviously I'm going to add my bow or the wreath. Not sure which one I'm going to do. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and center this and get this on my blank here. I would recommend not cutting that part out. I ended up having, it took me a minute. That's why I kind of fast forward through that part, because it was hard for me to, this part became too flimsy, or this part became too flimsy because this part was missing. So it was really difficult, and I didn't think the parchment paper was going to help either. So what I would recommend is not to cut it and have a full square of transfer tape. So I ended up having to cut this apart, as you've seen here, and then lay them down one at a time, or one and then one group there. So just be mindful of that when you go ahead and do this, if you end up doing it, I should say. Oh shoot, oh no. Okay, it's all right. Guess I was not paying attention. I was thinking I was okay. So when that happens, let it try to lay down as naturally as you can. I think it ripped the paper a little bit. I didn't paint. I painted this, and then I added a cardstock just because I hate painting the inside or something like that. So there we go. So it just says Gingerbread Shop. And then what we'll do is we will add our little gingerbread, and then I want to try to position this, because when I was trying to create this in Design Space, I wasn't sure like how big or how wide I should make it. So I kind of just added up a little bit And so I'm not worried about the spoon well, I am, but mainly because I'm trying to find a position for this little guy here. So I'm also trying to think about how do I want this spoon to be positioned on the gingerbread, and I think I like that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a little marking for this guy, and let's see here. I'll do just a little, okay, and then I'll do one over here, just so I can have two different markings so that way it's straight. And then I'll add some glue to it. Now you can opt for hot glue. I'm going to use my Beacon Fabric Tack Glue just because, and I actually don't know if it's going to work with this gingerbread. I'm not sure how well it works with plastic. I don't think it says, yeah, doesn't mention plastic, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work with it. It just, or silicone, I should say, not plastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this guy down. And again, I'm just kind of moving this around so it is aligned with where I had it originally. Oh, I think this is so cute. I love it. And then, like I said, I'm not going to glue this down because I need it to be, I need to be able to use it to add my faux food to it. So again, stay tuned to that video, but it's just going to look like something like this. And then, okay, so that's that. So we're going to pretend that's glued down. I'm going to let this glue down. Hopefully it will glue down. Not sure if it will. So now what we want to do is I want to cover it. Now I could definitely fill in those two holes. Actually, I have spackle, so I could have done that, but I don't know. I feel like it needs a little something something. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Okay. And do we want, no, I can already tell I do not want that. All right, so we're going to use this bow. Now, actually, I'm going to hold it up to myself to see if I like it. I don't. Okay, so what I'll do is, I don't really like the bow. I mean, let me know what your thoughts are. I just think it just kind of takes away. So what I'll do is I'll use my spackle and I'll paint the top over and then we'll call it a day. So by the time you watch my faux foods video, you'll see that the holes have been covered and has been painted. So I just think the bow just, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's not working. Let me know in the comment section if you think that it's, well, I don't know. No, I don't like it. There's different reds, so let me know if you think that you would add it. I'll think about it, but this is what it looks like. And again, be sure to watch my faux foods video because you'll see how it all ties it in. I may even, once I get my faux food on here, tie it like this, something like that. And if you're not into faux foods, you can do something like this. This would be kind of cute, right? Okay, well, that is the first project of this video. Let's go ahead and move into the next video. In this project, this hopefully would look familiar because if it did, then you would have watched my fall video. I had purchased this from Hobby Lobby and I did a puff vinyl then with the glitter vinyl. So I thought that this is still going to be part of my decor for the kitchen, but except I am going to flip this. Now this is embroidered, so this was already done, and then it just came with this checkered black and white checker to match this. So I'm going to just move this to the side because you have seen this before. So I'm going to move that there. And I thought it would be cute if I just turned this around and then added a cute glittered Christmas tree. So that is what we're going to do with this. I do have my mini easy press heating up. In fact, right on cue. It is done heating up. So easy to weed. In fact, this tree was hollow in the middle and I just contoured it out so that way it's a solid. So since this has been sitting in my kitchen, I'm going to go ahead and lint roll it and then I will preheat it just in case there's any moisture that got into it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, looks like there was some lint on there. And then I'm going to bring my easy press, mini easy press, and just, actually, before I do that, let me add my heat pad. So now I can heat it up just to remove any moisture from the towel. Okay. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead. I don't want to heat up my pumpkin, so I'm going to remove that. And I have not unfolded it since I purchased because I think it's perfectly. If I do that, it will not look right. So now don't forget, when you do iron on, you will need to reverse it or mirror it, I should say. But honestly, it's a tree, so I didn't really need to mirror it. It's the same thing on both sides, so it was not necessary for me to do that. And I think that looks good. So then I'm going to bring in my mini press and move it around for constant motion. And I was really wanting to bring in red to this and maybe do like a bell of some sort, but I don't know. I thought the green would look good too. And I really liked how the glitter looked on this, the black glitter at least. So I thought that looked really good. I think that's good. And I am going to remove my mats and flip it over to get rid of that heat. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the liner. Be careful to watch your whole design to make sure nothing's lifting. And I think it turned out perfectly. So there we go. So again, you can do one side, since it's just decorative purposes, we don't have to worry about, you know, having vinyl on either side. And then let's bring them back together. There we go. So what do you guys think? I think that turned out really cute. And hey, I got 2 seasons or 2 holidays out of one towel. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next project. In this project, we are going to add some vinyl to this cutting board. I actually had purchased quite a few of these cutting boards, and I had to sand them down because this isn't actually an Easter. If you look at oh no, I took the tag off. So it's an Easter of this year, so 2023, and they had like an Easter design on here, and I bought several of them to use, and I mean, they were super cheap. They were like less than $1, and I could not pass that up. So I bought a lot of them. My idea was to gift them, but I think, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but this one at least I'm making for our kitchen. And I did one for Halloween and painted it black, and then added some vinyl, and it turned out super cute. So this one I painted it white. Now I didn't paint from here, or I didn't sand from here down, so I'm thinking, yeah, you can't really see. I think there's one area that's a troubled area, but I think other than that, looks really good. And then also there was like a burlap bow here, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to add, well, actually no, I was either going to add this bow, but I've done that time or before in my Halloween, so I think what I'm going to do is just add this cute little wreath to the project here. So let's go ahead and get this weeded out. And this is the vinyl that I'm going to be using quite often throughout my videos, this red and this burgundy and this dark green color. I mentioned that earlier. So I really liked the colors, and we're using some traditional colors, except for my mugs that you'll be seeing here shortly. That I am using some non-traditional colors. So I'm pretty excited about that, just because it's going to go with my faux foods, and I want to be a little different with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this weeded out. All right, now there are some middles here, that is in the letter, and I think they kind of just scream Christmas. In fact, I can't remember if this was a design space SVG or no, I'm almost certain it's not. It is. I don't think I actually picked out the font. I don't know. I'll have to look back. I can't remember if it was a design space SVG or it was just a fonts that I happened to choose for this particular design. Now, I did not do iron-on as I normally do with wood projects because for the spring season, not for Valentine's Day, because I'm going to actually be doing something different. I'm going to do a different color, but for spring, I think I'm going to leave it a white. So I thought that instead of using up another one, I can paint it or rip up the vinyl and then go ahead and weed out the middles here, and then I can just add new vinyl to it. So that was my idea, at least. Who knows if it will happen, if I'll even have time to recraft this. Excuse me. The painting, or yeah, the sanding, I should say, takes a while. And actually, this is such cheap wood. It kind of almost ruined my project. In fact, I was working on this for a different project, and it completely peeled everything up. I don't even think it's wood. I think it's like particle board or something like that. But yeah, it completely ruined my project, so I ended up having to throw it away. I mean, there was no saving it at all, which is fine. It was only $1. I hated to do that, but there's nothing that I could have done with it, to be honest. So that is just the nature of crafting. Sometimes it gets ruined. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to bring up my scissors here. This green vinyl, I was working on cutting out some vinyl and it would not, this green one in particular, the red one, I had no problem cutting with, or using my Cricut to cut out small pieces, but the green, for whatever reason, oh my Lord, it gave me so many problems. I don't know why. I did end up changing my knife blade because I thought maybe that was an issue. So hopefully that would fix the problem. Okay, so it just says Merry Christmas in the red and the burgundy and the green. So let's go ahead and apply some vinyl to this. I'm going to reuse some vinyl. Okay. Burnish the front and burnish the back. All right, let's go ahead and bring this over. I'm gonna, well, let me see here. Do I want to write justify it? Or do I want to center it? Trying to think. Do I want to do? We'll do center. I right justified. Do I want to left justify? No, let's just do center. I right justified my Halloween one, so let's just be different. I need to come over just a little bit. There we go. I don't think I'll be able to reuse this transfer tape after this project because it's already losing its tack. Plus, when I sand it, I'm sure there's some, try to wipe it down as best as I can, but I'm sure some of the sawdust or the dust, whatever you want to call it, came off. Okay, so Merry, and then we'll add Christmas. I'm really gonna scrape this down because, like I said, I think it's losing its tack, and that's fine. We'll just retire it once we're done with this project. Okay. Let's bring this into center here. There we go. Oh, I really liked how it turned out, and I'm glad that I centered it. All right, I'm gonna retire this because I no longer need it. It's not gonna work on future projects. And then, like I said, I did try to sand off all that glue, but I got some still left on there. So I'm gonna add this. Do we want the bow though? I mean, no, because the reds don't match, so I'm not gonna do that. So that's fine. And then I'm going to add some glue on my piece here. This is just the Vegan Fabri-Tac glue. So I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit, even though right now it's before Thanksgiving, but we just had a warm up down here where I live, and it was in the 80s earlier, and luckily now it's getting colder. They say it's cold front coming in. I'm from the north, and cold front is like 30 degrees, not 60 degrees. So it's something I'm having a hard time getting used to. And they're like, oh, it's cold front. I'm like, okay, it's gonna get cold. Nope, it's gonna get in the 60s. So we finally just had fall. Because our leaves finally changed. Usually we get fall at the end of November, and then the leaves start to change. Well, the leaves that does change, and the rest just die off. And they finally started to turn, and then usually we get like a week or 2, 3 weeks at most of fall, and then it just goes straight into like cold. And I'm embarrassed to admit, the other day, my husband and my daughter and I were driving to go get ice cream after dinner, and we were driving back. We had the windows down. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's freezing outside. Let's roll up those windows. And we looked at the temp, and he was like, yeah, it is kind of cold. And we looked at the temperature. It was like 66 degrees. I'm like, my Midwestern / Northern card has been revoked, because if I met my southern south up in Ohio, where I'm from, I would kick my butt, because unbelievable. I could not believe that I would ever say that. When I first moved down here, so a quick story and then we'll move on. But when I first moved down here, it was the end of December. So it was like 2 days after Christmas. And then my parents and my sister stayed down for a week, and then they ended up going back, and then I started my new job. And so I went to go get pizza one day by myself, like they had left, and I think it was like that night or something like that. And it was probably 60 something degrees. And you guys got to think, where I'm from, during that time of the year, there's snow on the ground, right? So it's freezing. And then when it starts to get warm, like starts to warm up in the 60s or 50s, it's like spring, and we're all wearing shorts and stuff. This is why we get sick all the time. But anyways, I go in to pick up the pizza, and the girl's like, girl, you got flip-flops on. What's wrong with you? She literally said that to me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's warm. And she's like, it's like 50 or 60 degrees outside. I'm like, yeah, that's like spring for me. So I'll never forget that. But anyways, I guess you have to adjust. So that is the end of this project. I think it turned out super adorable. I'm really glad that I used the wreath for this particular craft here. And yeah, this is just going to sit up on against my backsplash and be part of my Christmas decor. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next project. In this project, we are going to make a adorable sign, and I am super thrilled to make it. In fact, it kind of goes in with my gingerbread sign that we made in this video. So you guys seen this before. As luck would turn, I actually reorganized all of my reorganize all my wood blanks and home decor. So as I mentioned time and time again, that I tend to buy Hobby Lobby's home decor frames and stuff like this that has stuff on there, and then I apply my cardstock to it, or I paint it when it goes in clearance. So when it was such a great day when they marked down all of their crafts to like 75% off, and I got so happy. So I bought a ton of it, and maybe one of these days, I actually just organized it, so maybe I'll make a quick video of the of my craft room. I'll do it after the new year once you guys just see my craft room. It's a mess. Well, at least for me, it's a mess. So something that I won't record until after the new year. But anyways, so I bought a lot, and I figured eventually I will craft with it. So you guys seen this before in my pumpkin patch, I think it was the pumpkin patch video. And this one, I bought a couple, I guess I only bought 2 of them. And so I will I'm gonna go ahead and craft with this. Now I debated on whether or not to, because they don't sell this frame. In fact, all this time that they were selling it, I never had any inspiration for this frame until I saw someone else craft with it, and I'm like, you know what, that actually is a really cute frame. So now I craft with it. But anyways, so this was $3.74. Original price was $13, or no, it was $3.24. So under $4. And we are going to apply some vinyl to this. So I'm going to push this to the side. Now this one is going to be a little bit of a challenge to weed, because we got a lot of moving parts to this. In fact, I'm going to trim this down because there's some vinyl that I didn't end up using. So again, we want to save our scraps. Last, well, I guess it's not going to make sense for you guys when you watch this video, but when I was creating my designs and figuring out, you know, what's going to go on what, I ran out of this, and I drove 30 minutes to actually near my work to go get it because I needed more vinyl. And I have a lot of vinyl, I just don't have, I think what I'll do is I'm going to scrape this down here. But I don't have this color. I really don't use a whole lot of greens, to be honest. I use more black and white. Okay. So let's see if that helped. I might have to end up having to cut this as we go. That scraping it down did not help, but we will be just fine. Let's see, let's go ahead, and some areas just need encouragement, and yeah, I'm definitely going to cut as we go. This is going to be a lot easier. Okay, so this was a lot, I had a lot of issues with this one. The green, for some reason, I cannot cut the green vinyl on my Cricut Joy, and because it was giving me a lot of issues. And so what had happened was, when I was peeling this part up, this was already weeded out, and then it I don't know what happened, and I lost it. So I had to recut out the O and the M, and I had no problem with the O, but the M, obviously you can see that I still have a lot of issues with this. I ended up having to cut the M separately because the M really got screwed up when I was cutting it with my Explorer. So I ended up cutting this on the washi tape setting, and it worked perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. You can kind of see that it is what it is at this point. So This part, I'm not even going to attempt to weed out right now. I'm going to reverse weed this because this is going to be, if this was an issue, this is definitely going to be an issue because it's such a smaller text. So I'm just going to go ahead and weed out the other parts. Let me move that out of the way. I have my laptop open just for reference. So then I'm going to go ahead and weed out the second part. This one, gosh, I really hope that this is going to be a little bit easier to weed out than the other one, the green one was. And I know I've complained, and I'm sure you guys are all tired of me complaining about this Orcal, but the Orcal is all brand new, so I'm not exactly sure why I'm having such issues with Orcal. Like I said, I've seen other crafters craft with it and never had an issue. So why am I having issues? It's just my dumb luck, maybe. I don't know. But we will power through it. And I'm almost certain this is a new stuff. So this, because, you know, vinyl does have a shelf life. And in fact, I think on the Orcal, it does tell you how long it lasts. I think the Orcal lasts 6 years. So I know for a fact that I haven't had this for 6 years. That I haven't had my Cricut that long. So I think I've been crafting since 2019. So that's, what is that, for 5 years? So I guess almost 6 years, but I got my Cricut for my birthday in July and then never really used it. And then my husband gave it to me to kind of just give me a hobby. And I think he regrets giving it to me because now I am taking up the whole house with my craft supplies. Okay, so I'm just looking to see. Okay, just looking at my vinyl to make sure I didn't miss any of those small little circles in there, but it looks like I'm good to go. Okay, so get that away, and I'll put that away. I'm going to add the M after I applied it to my wood blank, so that way that M's going to be hard to transfer. And then, like I said, I'm going to reverse weed that because I'm not even going to attempt that, trying to not have any vinyl over it or on it. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to think about how I want to go about doing this here. I'm just kind of looking at the design on my computer. Okay. I think that should be good to go. I'm going to use bigger scissors so I can cut this a little bit faster. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to cut off what I don't need here. I use this for different projects. And then make sure this is flat, nothing's sticking out. Okay. Now I've never reversed weeded with this transfer tape, so I don't know how well it will do because it does have like somewhat of a low tack to it. So we shall see how it will work out. Okay, just moving that aside. If you never heard of reverse weeding, it works really well with transfer tape. I'm going to keep this because I can apply the transfer tape back on there and reuse it. So that's what we'll do. So I'm just going to clear up my workspace a little bit. Just to declutter. And I'll get the back. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to burnish this down really good. I'm not sure if this is going to work to my advantage, to be honest. I'm going to start with this side. And we will see. Okay, so I'm only going to expose just a little bit. I don't want to expose this whole thing. I'm going to go back just a little bit more, because I don't want to accidentally ruin everything. So then I'm going to use my weeding tool and lift the part that needs to get weeded. And this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think it's going to end up being a little bit easier. Yeah, it's working a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's perfect, because there's still some lifting, but I can tell you what, it's a lot easier. Look at that, purity even stayed. I guarantee if I did not do reverse weeding, this would not weed like a dream. So yeah, try reverse weeding. I don't like to do this often because it's not always, I don't think it works that great all the time. But in areas such as this, in fact, do I have, oh yeah, I just have a, okay, I'm just trying to think of what it says. Okay, just has a little dash here. Oh, perfect. I just knew if I did that without, oops, if I did not reverse weed that, that would not be easy. I mean, you guys seen with the bigger letters, it was a pain. And I can't imagine without even small letters how terrible that would be. So yeah, use that when you think it's going to be to your advantage. Okay, so I'm going to take the rest of that off. Probably should have reverse weed the whole thing. That probably would have made more sense. And I'm going to get out my parchment paper. This way, if you hear any rumbling, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to bring in my wood blank here. Now, I have to think about how I want to plan as I'm being a little careless here. So let me bring that in. Okay, so then this is going to go here. In fact, let me cut off some of this. Okay. So it's going to go here, and then my lettering is all going to go in between. And I wanted to do the lettering because I figured I need to get that straight over this. Well, this would have been okay. Probably should have done this first. Because this has my boundaries. Okay, so I'm going to waste a little bit of transfer tape. I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry, I got distracted. Something fell over, and I don't know what. I'm going to make sure it's not something important. Okay, but anyways, this defines my boundary except for the bottom, and I will have to work with that. Okay. Got a little bubble, so I'm just starting from this side and working my way out. Jeez. becoming such a disastrous project, and I don't know what it is. I've never had so many issues. I don't know if I'm going too fast or what, but goodness gracious. Got some bubbles in there. It's like, did it cut through my, I don't know. All right, let's bring this back in. And use my parchment paper. Move that out. All right, there we go. Okay. There's some bubbles I need to work through. Go ahead and scrape that down. And let's go ahead and peel this up. So that, I don't know why, maybe it's just I need a good crafty break, because this has been a good testament to my patience. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out, hopefully, I had a lot of bubbling issues. So as you can see here, I don't know if this is going to lay down straight. Okay. Well, and then it looks like I gotta screw it up a little bit. You know, I'm not even gonna fuss. Not even gonna fuss. Okay, and I'm just verifying everything else looks good. So I think what had happened is I got air bubbles in there and then caused a rippling effect, as you guys could probably have told. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this in, and I'm gonna use the parchment paper. Move this out carefully. Again, I'm just kind of smoothing it as we go because I don't want to have any bubbles like we did with the last one. I can already tell I'm a little bit crooked, but I think we're just going to have to accept what is. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to be careful with scraping this down because I don't want to accidentally get the vinyl that's exposed. So I'm going to be careful with that. The last thing I want to do is mess this up, because if I do, we're going to peel it up and we're not going to do this project anymore. Because I don't want to be put through this. I thought this would be a fun project. In fact, I got... Okay. Looks like something is not... All right, so let's go ahead and peel this up. So it is finally done, and this was a labor of love, maybe? Question mark? I don't know what it was. And I also realized, you know how this has the middle weeded out? There is actually a middle that goes around here, but I am not even, I was trying to fuss with it, and I said, you know what? we're not going to. So this is it. I think it turned out, was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it. I think this turned out super cute, and I really, really like it. And I think this would look cute in my kitchen. And I don't know what the deal was, why it was not weeding out good, why it wasn't transferring good, why, I don't know. But yeah, so this is it. So let's go ahead and move into our next craft project. In this project, we are going to make a tray for Santa Claus for cookies, milk for Santa, and then of course some carrots for the reindeer. So this is actually from Hobby Lobby, and this is for a wall decor, but we're going to use this as a tray. So we don't need this string here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. I actually used one for the Easter Bunny. In fact, let me go ahead and show you the one that I did for the Easter Bunny. So here's the one I did for the Easter Bunny, and I used this pearl green and orange, and I also glued, I had these handles, and these are from Hobby Lobby, and I glued them so it's actually a tray. Now I do have handles for this one, but unfortunately they had two of these, but one was discolored. And I thought, you know what, we don't always need a handle to it. So, but I just thought that was cute to add a cute little decor. So, and I just created this myself. I found a wreath that I liked, fonts that I liked, and then of course, the vinyl that I liked. So this one we're gonna use another one, and we're gonna make a tray for Santa Claus. So let's go ahead and get that weeded out. Let's go ahead and get the middles. Not sure how this is going to weed out. I haven't been having a whole lot of luck with this vinyl, so I'm a little apprehensive of weeding this out. And it looks like some of my dots to the eye disappeared on me, and honestly I'm not even gonna be worried about it. I don't think Santa Claus is gonna judge me for me not having a little dot to the eyes or a period or anything of that nature to the sentence, so I'm just going to be okay with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and weed this out. One of my favorite memories as a kid is we would, I mean, did we even sleep as a kid? Christmas Eve? I know I didn't. And I don't think we got, I think the rule was we couldn't wake our parents up until, I don't know, actually I don't remember a whole lot of what time we woke up. Obviously I wasn't really quite worried about the time. And it looks like the O kind of went wonky. Oh no. Yeah, O. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but we will see how we can mend this. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, we got up. First thing we did, we went to the kitchen to see if Santa Claus ate his cookies, and then we went and got our stockings. We opened them up, and then my dad would pass out the Christmas gifts, and we would do it one at a time. I loved that we did it one at a time because it just extends the Christmas magic, and just it's nice to see what everyone got. Of course, you know, as a kid, you're like, oh my gosh, hurry up, I want to open my next gift. But I'm glad that we did that. So I'm going to reverse weed the rest. I think that's just going to have to be the approach for this project. Oh, and I gotta fix that date. So let me go ahead and get this cut out. Fix that date before I forget. I had hoped that it was going to work, but unfortunately, this is not. That is completely fine. Okay. The thing of it is, I was hoping to get rid of some of this vinyl because it just makes it harder. I'm not going to. All right. All right. So we want to make sure that we don't get air bubbles, because with all that vinyl that is on there, it will create a lot of issues. Okay, so we're going to take our time and making sure that this goes down smoothly. Okay. So this SVG came from Design Bundles, and I had to modify it in order to fit this oval shaped design that I have. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll expose the bottom first and work my way up. And then keep that covered, because we don't want to mess with what has already been weeded out. So here's the ugly part, because you got to separate all that vinyl from your transfer tape, and it gets sticky, right? So I'm gonna have to work in sections. Okay. So part of my O. And I'm just kind of taking my time. So we got a good portion of it done, and I'm going to get the middle of the areas that I missed. This was a little sinker, let me tell you. Okay. This R came out or off the design, and I'm not going to place it back on there. In fact, I'm going to place it on the transfer or on the carrier sheet, and then I'll come back and add that. It's just easier that way, to be honest. And then I'm going to try to weed out some of this here. I'm not going to be that concerned. I knew this was going to be not an easy task to try to weed out. You know what? I'm not even going to mess with it. It's not perfect, but I don't think that I have a choice. You just gotta pick and choose your battles, right? So what we'll do is I think we're going to add some transfer tape or some parchment paper. I think I found a good center. I'm going to lift this up and remove the transfer tape. Trying to avoid got a little bit of an air bubble. We have learned that this vinyl does not do well with air bubbles. Okay, so I still got that R. Actually, I almost threw it out. So, and the O just doesn't look right there, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And honestly, if I had a pen, I would actually just, I don't feel like cutting it all out. So you just kind of got to pick and choose, you know, see. Like I said, good old Saint Nick is not going to have an issue. He is going to eat cookies and drink the milk and give the carrots to the reindeer. Oh, oh, oh. And that A, I might have to fix it a little bit because that's going to bother my eye. Looks like I need to add that there. Looks like the eye there. Okay, so this transfer tape is going to get retired. And I'm going to try to see if I can get this part weeded out. There we go. Sometimes it's just easier to weed it on the actual part. Now you run the risk of scratching your vinyl, of course, or you're scratching your wood, or, you know, whatever you're applying it to. So there we go. Looks a little bit better. I'm not going to stress. And then I'm going to come back and get my R. Real life crafting, people. Real life crafting. All right. There we go. So we got, I'm going to fix this O. We'll have to kind of go like that. Then I think I'm not even gonna really wanted to try to save that or try to fix that. But there we go. I think this came out super cute despite its issues. So, all right, let's go ahead and move into our next project. All right, we are down to our last craft of the video, and I say last craft, but there's actually 5 of them, but they all kind of go in the same category, and they are mugs. So I am going to make some fake bake foods for my channel for Christmas. And so in order for me to do that, I need to prep my mugs. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to go ahead and weed this out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and weed out the middles here. This is a rather older vinyl, so I'm going to be really gentle because the F had already came out on its own accord. So I am going to go ahead and weed this out. And I apologize if the glare is kind of bad. I just got new lighting we're trying out. So This actually makes it really hard for me to see with all that glare. Okay, and I'm just weeding out the middles because I think that this might be a little challenging to weed out if I have the whole background removed. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to do, wow, a lot of reverse weeding in this video. I haven't done so much in my entire life of crafting. So probably should do the reverse weeding to weed out the middles, but I really like this vinyl. I'm going to pair it with this green mug. So I got that done, and I'm going to go ahead and get out some transfer tape. And let's see, I think what I'll do is I'll remove these middles. Actually, I don't think it's going to matter now that I'm thinking about it. All right, so go ahead and do that, and then I'll get my scraper tool. All right, got that. I'm going to put my F there. And then I will go ahead and peel this up. It's actually doing pretty good. Okay, so if you're doing this, I would not put your middles there, but I can just go ahead and peel those off. Looks like I got some right there. Well, I'll come back for that. I don't want to mess up the rest of it. Okay, there we go. And then what I'll do is I'll get these off of my transfer tape. And then I got one area that I need to get out that middle here. I think it's under. There we go. All right, and it looks like I got another one. Right, oops. They're coming off my fingers. All right, there we go. And then go, and that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this off my fingers. Okay, now what I want to do, and I'll put that F on afterwards. I have this cup cradle that I got off of Amazon. I'm gonna use some rubbing alcohol and clean this off. Now, I had used this for my Halloween faux foods video, so you've seen this mug before. I just took the topper off, and I'm going to reuse it just because this can get expensive, although this was from their spring collection, and it was like, I don't know, $1, something like that. Let me see. I don't think I have the tags on any of this. So, okay, so I chose a blue just to complement. In fact, in some way, it kind of looks green to me. But now, of course, I do want to tell you, though, you want to, if you're using this to actually drink from, you want to use permanent vinyl. And I would not advise a thin font because it will come off fairly quickly. So, and also you want to have enough room for someone to drink from. And also, if you're giving this as a gift, then you want to make sure that you give this time to cure. Usually 24 to 48 hours is best, and make sure that you inform them that it's not dishwasher or microwave safe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Now, since I'm not using this to drink out of, I don't really have to be mindful of anything that I just kind of informed you. It's more so for my faux foods videos. So it's just going to be out on display. But nonetheless, if you're not into that kind of thing, then of course you can still gain inspiration from it and make it yourself your own little mug. Excuse me, I think I was going to sneeze and it definitely did not happen. It was a cough. Okay, so, you know, when you're applying your vinyl to a mug or a curved surface, you might want to add some relief cuts, but this actually laid down fairly nicely. Okay, looks like we have some troubled areas. And as I mentioned earlier, this vinyl is, I don't know, probably over a year old, and so I'm not surprised that it was not going to stick down nicely. Okay, so now we just got to add this F, and I like to use my weeding tool, so that helps a lot. And I'm going to just kind of put it at an angle, try to get a good position for, oop, I don't need a hook on there. Well, I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and there we go. It's a little close to the A, but I think it's all right. So there you go. It just says fa la 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 la, right? I think it's really pretty, and I'm sure you guys can see the glare on the vinyl. It's like holographic, I should say. So I think that turned out really cute, and I think that in some lights or in some movement of this, you can kind of see that it matches this glass. It's but anyways, yeah, I thought that was really pretty. So I have this cute mug. And actually, this was bought for the fall at Hobby Lobby. It was in their fall section. Bought it 75% off. It's like, it says food safe, anyways, and dishwasher safe, but I'm not going to be using it for that. And it's going to go for my faux foods. And I'm just using my rubbing alcohol to clean off the surface. This will allow the vinyl to stick better to the mug. Now I have this pattern vinyl. It's Paper Studio and it's removable, but of course if you want to use this for food purposes or for drink purposes, then you're going to want to opt for a permanent vinyl. But again, I'm not using it for coffee or soups or whatever the case is. I'm just going to use it for my faux food decorations. So what I did was I found two different types of trees and I created a little bit of an offset and I layered them together and reduced the size so that weeded out really nicely. So I think I'll use that and then nice scissors. Okay. It's like this is barely gonna fit. And I liked this mug because it has like a little cream to it. I think that's really pretty and will fit in. Okay, so now I have to be mindful that to get the top. Okay, got that. Go ahead and scrape it down, front and back. I did use I have a new blade, and I think it kind of cut through the vinyl a little bit. But also, this vinyl is over a year old, so it was from last year. And I was at Hobby Lobby, they have the same thing again this year, probably for a more expensive price. I didn't really compare. But anyways, so again, just to kind of go over, because it seems to be the theme of this video with the vinyl not working. Although the vinyl that I was using in the other projects, they were not old. I just bought that stuff, so I don't know. And then, but anyways, so you want to make sure, I I have a bad tendency of buying things when they're on clearance, and then I buy faster than I can craft. So just be mindful that that stuff does go bad, which it doesn't mean it's not usable. It's just like, for example, if you're using it for food purposes, the longevity might not last as long, but hey, you have a Cricut, so it's not like you can't redo it again. And also it might become an issue, and you've probably seen it in my other videos, and if you're my first time watching my videos, you'll see like part of the carrier sheet will come up a little bit, as you can kind of see here. Let's see if I can get that lined up here, but it will kind of come up and peel with the vinyl. So as long as you're okay with that, and I mean, which I'm all about trying to save money, that vinyl can get pretty expensive. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this lined up. Okay, I think that looks good to me. Again, you can opt for relief cuts to help it lay down, but I think because it's such a small design, and this is kind of, it has a gradual curve to it, that it actually worked out just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and move that, and then go ahead and peel that up. There we go. Oh, I really like the pattern with this cream color. I think that really makes it look really pretty. Okay, so stay tuned for my my faux foods video as we'll be crafting with these. I have three more to do. So let's go ahead and work on those three. So I have this cute milk bottle, and we're actually going to do, again, this is going to be part of my faux foods video. And let me go ahead and put some rubbing alcohol on there. And we are going to use resin. I am not an experienced resin user, so we'll see how. I got into resin for a hot minute, and I don't know. I didn't like the fact that you had to use PPE for it, because of the smell of it. But I saw this on Pinterest and I wanted to do it, and I had these bottles, so I thought, you know what, why not do that? And I have resin, so might as well use with what I have, trying to craft. That is going to be my goal. One of my favorite crafters to watch, she made it a goal of hers last year, I think it was, to craft or to shop within her craft space. And I told myself that I was going to do the same thing, shop my craft stash and not buy. But that lasted all but maybe a day because there was a good sale on something, Lord. But anyways, I told myself that I'm going to be realistic with my goal. Excuse me. My goal is for 2024 is to shop my craft space first, and I only am going to buy if I run out of a certain vinyl. So like, I'm always going to use black and white and all that. So if I'm doing a project, you know, I'm going to try to use the vinyl that I have, but if the color of the vinyl just does not make sense, then I most certainly will buy, you know, the vinyl. That I'm not going to be unrealistic with my choices of color and vinyl. So anyways, that is what I'm going to do. And one other caveat to this whole thing is if Hobby Lobby clearances out any of their craft, I can't get this off my finger, goodness, this wants to stick everywhere except on there. But anyways, so unless Hobby Lobby clearances their craft area, like their wood pile, I most certainly know myself, I will not be able to control, because, you know, stuff is getting so expensive and you got to craft on the cheap when you can. And if I have the opportunity and able to get it, I'm going to get it. So that is what my goal is. I've told my sister and my husband, and they both laughed at me. I'm not sure why they did. Probably because they know me. But no, seriously, I am really going to try. Looks like I forgot my O. Try to be shopping, or try to shop my craft space because honestly, and I guess the whole reason why I'm doing that, if I'm being completely honest, is because I have no more space to store this stuff. It sucks. It does suck when you live in the South and you don't have basements and you have no choice. So you kind of learned that you can't be a hoarder, which is fine. I don't need to keep a bunch of stuff for the rest of my life. So, and to be honest, like I craft every weekend, especially now that I'm making content for my channel and really crafting more than I have ever crafted. I try to craft once or twice a weekend or once or twice a week, and but now more so because I am making content for my channel. Okay, let me go ahead and get this peeled up. So it just says milk for Santa. Use now that the vinyl that I'm using, this is Paper Studio. That's a Hobby Lobby brand, and it's just their matte black vinyl. It's removable, but again, I'm not going to use it for drinkware. It's just going to be for display. And in the Faux Foods video, you'll see me add resin to it. Oops. Okay, let's go ahead and move this back into position here. And let's go ahead, and there is a seam, which is right here. So I'm going to make sure there's two seams. So I'm going to have it, there's a seam here and then there's a seam there. So I don't want that to be my front. So let's go ahead and add this to our milk jug here. All right, there we go. So again, make sure that you stay tuned to, I'm not sure when that video is going to get released. Obviously, I have yet to even make it because these are not done. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get to it. So I'm hoping soon. There we go. I think it turned out super cute. And then, like I said, once I add my resin, we're going to put resin in here to make it look like milk, and then eventually it will harden over time. I'm going to add a cute little straw and then add a ribbon to it. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the second to last cup here. This is a Dollar Tree mug, and I'm going to just kind of be different. I'm right-handed, so that's why I opt to have my vinyl with the handle on the right here, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on this side. And I had bought this a while ago. I'm sure they still sell these mugs, especially around this time of season. So again, apply some rubbing alcohol. Push this aside. Now this vinyl, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to weed out. Only, oh, and this one, let me go ahead and add this. This had a little cute little lid to it, so I'm going to go ahead and add that there. And I'm not sure how this is going to get weeded out because I know this vinyl is a few years old. So we will see how well. I might have to reverse weed, but I'm doing the middles just to kind of, I like to avoid reverse weeding because I'm not a big fan of doing that method. So I'm a little worried about the quality. Now, knowing this fact, I would never, and I don't even know if this is permanent. Yeah, it doesn't tell you on the back. It really should be mandatory. They should tell you if it's permanent or not. I do label my vinyl, my scraps. In fact, if you guys want to see, I think I showed it in one of my videos, but of how I organize my scraps. So I think this was permanent actually, but I would give you guys the link to this, but I don't think I can find it anymore. If I can find it, I will add it. But I just think it's so pretty. And it just feels like, the texture of it just feels like regular vinyl, honestly. You know, I find it interesting. The one vinyl that's the oldest out of all of them works. It weeded just like a charm. It weeded perfectly. All right. I think what I'll do is I will piece this together. Do I? No. Let's go ahead and use a bigger piece of vinyl or transfer tape. Okay. And I most certainly can cut down. I might have to cut down on my transfer tape, but I don't know if I'm going to, because I like the size of it, and I'm sure it will be useful in another craft. But if it's going to mess with trying to line it up, then I most certainly will. Now here's the one part where you can definitely tell when it's old, is when the carrier sheet starts to peel up with the vinyl, which actually is doing pretty good. Oh, spoke too soon. See how it's, I don't know if you can tell, but see how like you can see part of that carrier sheet? That's because it's an old vinyl. So what you have to do is get your weeding tool and try to get in between this and your actual vinyl. So this is the part I was telling you guys about. So if you're willing to be like if you're willing to deal with that, then I would say I wouldn't worry about the shelf life. And they become a little bit less flexible, but I like the challenge. Clearly, this video has been nothing but a challenge. All right, let's go ahead and move that. Oh, push that aside. All right, let's go ahead and get this centered on here. Oh, I'm gonna love this. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. Okay, so now that I got that, so I got that centered. I want to lift it up because I realized it's a little bit too far this way, so that's all right. I think it will be fine. If I'm being honest, if I was gifting this, I would probably take it off and redo it. But since it's just gonna be, I got a little bit of bubble, so I'm gonna have to come back. But since I'm just doing this for my own crafting, for my own decor, I should say, then I'm just not gonna worry about it. And I'll just have to, maybe when I display it, it'll be at an angle. Okay. Let's go ahead. Well, I guess I can keep this on here. Well, yeah, it's all right. Oh, I love it. I love the shimmer on it. And again, it just feels like regular vinyl, just like this one, except this one's matte. But the shimmer vinyl from Cricut has a little bit of a texture to it, but this doesn't. So, and I really liked how the green that is paired with the red. And like I said, it really pairs well with this one. So maybe I should have done a red vinyl for this. What do you think? But anyways, yeah, I think this turned out really good. Hopefully you're getting the the sparkle on there. So okay, all right, let's go ahead and move into the last craft of the video. This last one was a non-traditional color for Christmas, and just because I really have a cute idea for this mug topper, so I really wanted to choose pink, and I'm choosing this like, I don't know, like, is it an opal color or this vinyl? I'm not sure what type of vinyl this is. I think it's, gosh, I can't think of what this is called. Anyway, it will come to me. I really like it. It has like a different texture to it than most vinyls, so I really like this, and it kind of gets like, it's like a holographic, but it's not. I don't know. If you know what it is, leave it in the comments area. Let me know what type of, I have the roll somewhere. Should probably just search for it. But I really, just like the Fa La La mug, it kind of, depending on how you look at it, it looks purple. The other, you know, another position, it looks pink. So, really like that. All right, so that weeded like a dream. I am glad because it's the last project for this video. So, make sure this is going to fit. Yeah, okay, just got to be a little bit particular about the placement of the transfer tape. Okay, slightly off here and there, but it will be okay. All right, and I don't think I cleaned this off with rubbing alcohol, so let's do it this side. Again, just to kind of be different, like the other two, or yeah, the other two. Okay, so got that done. Use my scraper tool to scrape this. And I apologize if my ring light is showing here at the top. As I was making this video, we got new lighting, and it looks like I think I missed. No, I don't think I did. But so we tried new lighting. I don't think I'm gonna like this because I have a glass mat, and I use it because I like the. Oh, actually, this works pretty good. I like this. I got this huge glass mat. I spent like $200 on this glass mat, and it's huge. It's 34 by 22 inches. But however, the ring light shows a glare when I'm recording, so, which is not ideal for recording. So we're working on another, if you have any suggestions, if you are a content creator as well, and let me know what you guys use for your videos. I have an LED, oh, they're square, I can't remember what they're called, but we have those, but we're going to have to, I work in, my dining room is my craft room, so I don't have a lot of wall space, so we're going to have to mount them to the wall, and I really didn't want to do that just because, you know, the dining room is open to guests, and I don't want it to make, or want my dining room or my craft room to look messy or junky. So we're working on the lighting. This was kind of a last minute thing of being a content creator. So anyway, all right, so this, we're going to go ahead and center this. I think I'm going to move that over a little bit and then place this. There we go. Now this SVG is from Design Space, and it had a lot of, and it probably would have been fine. I was nervous, I'll be honest. This was one of the first mugs I was working on in this video, and I did the reverse weeding, and it did not go well. And I ended up having to trash it, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to recut that. I'll try something a little bit more simpler, because I was thinking this vinyl was not going to work well, and it turns out it did. I just think that I should have just kind of stuck through it. But anyway, so I had to stop making the videos, or stop with this one, continue on with the rest of the mugs, and then came back, pause the video, and then came back, or I had to cut this out. And but anyways, so what I'm trying to say is this design here is in Design Space, but it had a bunch of like stars and circles, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna fuss with that since this was a disaster from the first time around. So, and it just says hello winter, and I like that. And I think that, I don't know if you can tell, but even when there's no light shining, it does complement the pink really well. And I put hello winter because I want to be able to display this past Christmas. So, because, you know, Christmas is only like 5 weeks and then it's over with. And you know, you put in all this hard work, and you want to be able to see it and look at it longer. All right, let's go ahead and bring in all of the mugs, and then we'll bring in everything that we have worked on, or that I have worked on in this video. So there you have it. Here are all 5 mugs that we worked on. I hope that you have gained some inspiration from these mugs. They were a lot of fun and I can't wait to start working on them in my faux foods. I have a lot of cute ideas. I had bought a lot of accessories to go with this. I'm really excited to work on this one with the resin because I think it's going to be easy. We're just making milk. So you're just going to add resin and then your white mica powder, stir it, and then add it. Of course, add your straw. So that is going to be pretty exciting to work with. And then, of course, the other ones, again, this is more of the mint green. It's not the green that I normally craft with or decorate my house with Christmas, but actually I really like that, and I like how the vinyl here and this ties in together. And now I'm kind of wishing that I had a red vinyl that was like this, that has that glitter, that sparkle to it, but I don't. It didn't come with that. I don't know if I bought this I think I bought it in a pack, but I can't remember. I know for a fact it didn't have the red or I would have used it. And like I said, it's been a few years. And then I really like this. I like doing tone on tone. I think it really complements it well. All right, so these are the mugs. Let's go ahead and bring in the wall decor and we'll look at everything and kind of go over all of those. So here are all of the Christmas decor that we worked on for the kitchen area. So this whole video had a theme, if you haven't noticed, that it all dealt with the kitchen. I think that it really turned out super cute. So I really liked how I was able to flip from the fall to Christmas, and I really like the green paired with the checker, and of course it just goes with this. So this will be hanging on my stove, and I really liked how that is paired together. Of course, you know, we're all blessed every day of every hour. And then of course, go ahead and move this to the side. I really like the simplicity of this little cutting board. Again, I had purchased this through Hobby Lobby. It was in their Easter and it had a cute little bunny on there and everything. And I bought tons of them, so don't worry. I have one that I will display and I don't have to work on it for the Easter time. But I liked that the little wreath paired well. I think that actually really was the better choice for this particular design in general. I think that if I would have went to the bow, I'm like, it's kind of been there, done that kind of thing. So I'm really glad that we added that bow to this cutting board, and this will just prop up on my backsplash. And then of course the Gingerbread Bake Shop. Now you guys didn't get to see this part in this video with me adding these gumdrops and of course this batter. I did this with spackle, so be sure to watch my faux foods video to see how I created that. And I'll probably mention, no, actually I didn't mention it because I already made that video, at least this part. So I'm kind of doing these videos out of order. But anyways, I opted for a brown batter because I thought it would get washed out with the white background, but to be honest, I think the brown's getting washed out with the spoon. So I might, if I were to do this all over again, I would have left the spackle white instead of the brown, but that's okay. Typically, you know, batter is an off-white color, so I think it worked out really cute. So be sure to watch that video of how I created this and then added those gumdrops to there. And then of course you did it in this video, we watched adding this cute little gingerbread, and again that was from Amazon, and it's actually an ornament, so they had like a little loop so you can put a string through it, and I just ended up cutting that off because I knew that I wasn't going to hang that up. And then I think that turned out super cute, and this is actually going to be part of my faux foods display. And then of course, probably the most important one, well, we'll do that one for last. We'll do the most challenging one. This one was a little stinker to work with. I mean, it looks fairly easy, but it was not easy to work with. And again, I can't say enough about Orcal 651. I think that I'm really surprised more people don't complain about it because I've had issues after issues with this vinyl. So, which is unfortunate because I had bought a lot of them and will be using it in my faux foods videos. So this is kind of the theme, these two colors as well. And then lastly, the most important one is, you know, because we need something for Santa. So just be sure if you are doing this for Santa Claus, you just want to, it's not food safe. So you just want to make sure that you add or put a little napkin down for the cookies, and then you should be good to go. And of course, you know, for the carrots for the reindeer, you want to put a napkin, because we don't want Santa Claus and the reindeer to eat something that, or to place food on something that's not food safe. So all right, well, thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that you enjoy everything that I was on my craft table. And as I mentioned before, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification, so that way you will be notified when my next Christmas/winter video gets posted. All right, bye guys. Thank you.